Gamers, what's good? I'm sure you already know about these cards at this point because they've been out for a couple of days in Master Duel, and they're pretty much everywhere. There's a bunch of decks running this engine. Actually, that's kind of the point of this video, is there's like too many decks that get enabled by Horus engine, and so I figured it'd be nice to have like a deck showcase style video where we just show a bunch of different decks that make use of the Horus engine. We're going to be showing quite a few decks here today, showing some replays as well for every deck. So, you know, we're talking about decks like Horus Orcust, Horus Tier, and even like Horus Cubic. So, you know, we've got all bases covered. We'll have all the more competitive ones at the start, and we'll just end the video off with like some more fun Horus strategies that maybe are not super competitive but are still like pretty interesting. We have a ton to get through, so we're about to get into it. But before we do that, please don't forget to like, you know, comment, you know, the algorithm things. I would appreciate them. Oh yeah, and real quick, just before we get into the lists, actually I just thought about this. I'm gonna be doing my first like legit Master Duel tournament, like, you know, Swiss best of one, you know, no special ban list, no nothing, just a legit ass Master Duel tournament. It's going to be taking place at 12 p.m. EST on June 1st. That's a Saturday. If you guys can make it and you're interested, I'm going to leave a link in the description. I'm also going to make a community post for it. I did do a poll asking people if they were interested in this, and it does seem like the interest is pretty high in Master Duel Central tournaments. So we're going to try it out. We'll see how it goes. Coots McG is actually going to be providing the prizing for the event, so huge shout out to him. Biggest supporter of the channel pretty much. I really appreciate him for doing that. So yeah, guys, next time you see Coots in the chat on stream, you know, shout him out, give him a W Coots or something. But anyway, back to the video. All right, so the first list here is coming in from Kenny Pickering in my Discord, and huge shout out to him. I think he submitted like 2. And yes, this is Adventure Horus. We are running a full-size Horus package. Now, I'm not going to go card by card with these. I'm just going to let you guys know all these deck lists will be linked in the description. So, you know, if you guys want to copy the decks or try them out, running a very extensive rank 8 extra deck. I can't believe you're playing Lancelot. I'm going to mention this once because someone in my Discord was asking me why people don't play this card more. This card is an Omni Negate, but it is not an optional Omni Negate. So that means it will negate the first effect after it's on the field once per turn. That means once you summon it, if you activate something before your opponent, that's getting negated by your own Lancelot. So that's why not everyone runs this. It is an Omni Negate. It can come up. Honestly, it's pretty useful for a Zeus play because you can make this guy swing, and if your opponent activates anything during the battle phase, it will get Omni Negated. But that's why not everyone likes this card. As for the main deck, oh my god, we really are running 3 walls of the Imperial Tomb. I'm not going to comment on the deck building too much because Kenny Pickering is actually a really strong deck builder. I guess I just don't agree with his theory on Horus. To be fair, this list is literally just 2 engines and hand traps, right? So we're looking at the Adventure engine, we're looking at the Horus engine, and just a ton of hand traps and staples. So I guess it makes sense to run more Horus cards in here. A little bit scary, but I'd love to see it in action, so we'll go check out a replay. All right, so here we go with Adventure Horus, and this duel is taking place in Master 1. I also want to point out, I think this is a really solid deck because I have encountered Adventure Horus more than once in Master recently. So this must be at least decent to be making it there. So obviously you can already see here some of the synergy with discarding the Water Enchantress off of Imseti. And we're playing under Droll here. So let's see what we can do under Droll. So we're going Sarcophagus, discard our field spell, special summon the Imseti, and special summon the Protection of Horus. Then we're going to go straight into Zombie Vampire. This is really interesting because we will not get access to our spell. Oh, but we get to summon a Cyframe Gear Gamma. Then we get to dump another level 8. And, oh, make ourselves... Oh, what? You're using the Vampire? Okay, so going into IP. So we're opting for an SP play, perhaps? Okay, I thought you were going to go for like a Baron or something, but I'm realizing you don't have one in the extra, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, wow, and we're playing against super heavy Samurai with this stuff. Okay, so summoning out the Wakaushi. Now, we're just going to SP away, I'm guessing, the Waka right now, right? Oh, deciding to SP away the Big Benkei. And they're chaining Moonlit Chill, which doesn't really achieve anything here because we get to just banish both of these. Honestly, I think that was maybe even a misplay. Unless they have more follow-up and they didn't care that everything gets cleaned here. Otherwise, I don't really get it. Okay, so they're going for a wagon. That makes sense. At this point, we go Veiler. And here we get to see one of the best aspects of the Horus engine is that on the crackback turn, we're going to get to summon a bunch of monsters. I'm kind of jumping the gun here. Maybe they have more follow-up. Oh, wow, they did. Okay, let me not jump the gun too far here. We might actually have to use this Nibiru. So they're going for the Soul Piercer, and they're going to a Samurai Scarecrow. Then they're going Soul Piercer, search Bike, Motorbike effect, discard to search the, I don't know the name of that one, General Coral. Then we get to bring back our Soul Piercer, activate the Soul Peacemaker, summon out the Scales. Scales, bring back a monster, and it's nib time, right? Yep. Nib time. We already pretty much have it in the bag at this point. They can't really follow up anymore, and on our own turn, we'll get to summon all of our level 8s from the grave. That's why King Sarcophagus is such a crazy card, right? This engine just bringing back more and more advantage every turn. And here we can actually go for the Water Enchantress, search the Rite of Aramasir. We'll get to set up our whole adventure stuff, right? Like, nothing too surprising here. Get to summon a monster to search our Draco back. Then we search the Griffin Rider, discard the Draco back. We'll get to equip the Draco back to our token. And here, yeah, we bounce the token. Makes sense. Summon back a level 8. And we're going into the Prime Photon engine here for a massive Zeus play. Summoning another level 8, bringing out the Wandering Griffin Rider. And just going in for game here. Makes a ton of sense. Oh, wow. We're even BMing with the called by. A little bit rude, but we'll take it. Exact lethal here from Kenny Pickering. I mean, is it the best deck in the game? No, but I do think Adventure Horus is a very real strategy. I've seen it quite a few times in Master Rank, and I've even lost to it a couple too. So definitely a solid deck. Really wanted to showcase that one. Now we're going to move on to one that a lot of people talked about, which would be Tearlament Horus. And this list is coming in from Yoshimitsu in the Discord with his own Tier Horus list. I know before the engine came out, I was saying that I wasn't 100% on if Tier would actually want to play the Horus cards. I'm pretty confident that most of them are not running every single Horus name. But I was wrong about that. A lot of people are running the Horus cards. It only makes sense, right? It's still insane to be able to make the zombie vampire in Tearlament. I think that goes without saying. Other than that, I mean, they're also like massive bodies that keep coming back. They make it super easy to go for lethal. There's a lot of upsides to playing these cards, so I'm not too surprised. Also, we're running the shufflers here, which makes it a lot of sense because they're a really, really strong discard off of our King Sarcophagus. So all in all, I still think this is like a solid list. To be honest, though, I think a list like this here would be a lot more viable. So I am going to link both of these lists. This list did participate in a Decade tournament pretty recently. I'm not exactly sure which one. I just don't think you should be running every single name. I'm not exactly sure why we're running this name instead of the Happy. There might be a reason here that I'm just not seeing. I guess we're just trying to get the draws off of the Duamutef or whatever. Running just two names makes a bit more sense, you know, and you can run like the Destrudo to get some synchro plays. Either way, I'm sure both builds are very, very solid and plenty good enough for Master Rank. So let's go see Yoshimitsu's replay. All right, so let's take a look here at the Horus tier deck in action. With a hand that has Foolish Burial Goods, Imseti, and Fenrir, we're looking at a pretty crazy hand here, starting off with the Fenrir to search the tier cache, after which we can go for Foolish Burial Goods, dumping the Trivikarma. Trivikarma in graveyard will be able to search our field spell, of course. At this point, we're going to go for the Perlarino and search ourselves a Rhino Heart. We're going to go for Imseti, discard the King Sarcophagus. Yeah, I think that's a pretty risky play. I'm just going to say this is just my opinion, really. So, like, if you guys want to argue with that, just let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that it would be a lot smarter to go Imseti, discard Imseti here, instead of discarding your King Sarcophagus, because if you got ashed, then you would have gone to activate the King Sarcophagus you had in hand. Yeah, I'd say like I'm 100% sure that that would have been the optimal discard there, to discard the second Imseti, but whatever. So we're going to activate our King Sarcophagus. We didn't get ashed. We don't have to worry about it too much. We're going to go for a Rhino Heart here, dump a Havness. Then we get to trigger Havness and make ourselves a Kit Kalos. At this point, we can go for Kit Kalos effect and search ourselves a Tearlament Scream, activate Scream, go for Kit, targeting itself to special summon the Tier Cache. Then we go for Kit effect engrave, Tier Cache effect on the field, and Scream on the field, milling a total of 11 cards, I think, and we get to trigger the Sharon, make ourselves a Rule Kalos. At this point, we can special summon 2 level 8s, use these 2 to go into a Zombie Vampire. Oh yeah, we want to mill more. We want to mill more and bring out a Supreme Sea Mare, and then we get ourselves a Sharon in hand. So we make ourselves an IP Masquerena, go Sharon, discard Imseti, mill more. We now have, I think, both Shufflers in the grave. Yeah, both Shufflers in the grave. 1 level 8 body on the field that we can use for our IP. We have Time Thief Redoer here with a Sharon equipped. Oh, we get Lava Golem, though. We're playing against Mikanko, as we saw here in the graveyard. They're going for Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. We're going to Ash the Slumber. They're going to Called by the Ash. We're going to go and Shuffler back our Ash so that we can dodge the Called by. Massive here. They're going to go for Hidden Armory. We do have another Shuffler, which is really good against Mikanko, actually. They're going to go for Preparation of Rites. And activating Hidden Armory again, not once per turn. They just don't get to normal summon this turn, but that's fine because they already went Lava Golem. Then they're going to go for Arabesque. We actually get to negate the Arabesque, and we get to get ourselves a Meta Noise here. They're going to search themselves an Ohime. No, sorry, they're revealing Ohime to search the Flash Spell. They activate the Flash Spell to summon out the Ohime. We're going to go for Snow Effect in the grave, banishing 7 cards, and they're going to chain the Ohime, equipping itself with the double-edged sword. Here we get to just flip it and banish it face down. They're going to go for the graveyard effect of the Mikanko Ceremony and bring back the Huli. Then we're going to go for the Mudora. Oh, we get to shuffle back to pop the equip spell. Interesting. So we're still going to take damage here. We just won't get killed. I'm surprised we didn't just use a shuffler instantly as soon as Huli hit the graveyard. I guess you just didn't read that they had that equip spell in hand. Either way, just going straight for a goddess and cleaning it up right there. Honestly, pretty solid replay. I do feel like that was a misplay again at the start of the game. My guess is you probably were keeping it in case you needed a monster to discard for your Sharon. So if that's the logic, I mean, fair enough. I still think being safe from Ash there is a bit better, but either way, very good replay. And let's move on to a more, like, I guess, experimental deck. So here from Pokemon Trainer, we have his best try at Horus Orcust, and I'm considering this experimental because from what he was telling me, it wasn't like that crazy, you know, it wasn't that hot. A lot of people were pretty hype about the Horus card, saying they're going to make Orcust significantly better, and I'm sure that's true, but at the end of the day, Orcust is not suddenly going to become somehow like better than Rogue. Maybe this helps push it to Rogue tier at best, and that would be about it. You know, they are pretty much just power crept, I suppose, at this point. Still, I did want to show this deck in action. I know a lot of people were hype about Horus Orcust, and even though I haven't seen it at all in ladder, I almost never feature Orcust on my channel, so I figured, you know what, might as well give them a little bit of spotlight with this video. So let's go take a look at our replay for Horus Orcust here. Okay, so Pokemon Trainer did warn me that every single time he was resolving Imseti, his opponent would just scoop. So this is the best replay he could get, but he says it's not as good as he would want it to be. So, you know, keep that in mind. We'll see what happens here. We're just going to take a look. So we're going to start off with the Imseti, discarding of course, the Harp Horror here, grabbing a King Sarcophagus and drawing into a second Orcust symbol. Then we can special summon out the Imseti, trigger the King Sarcophagus, discard our Orcust symbol skeleton, and summon out the Happy. Our opponent is going to go for Maxi, but thankfully we had the Called By. And you guys can kind of already see here just the really good synergy between these two engines is simply that these cards resolve in the grave, right? So having a card that discards them and gets you value with some level 8 bodies as well as a negate for Nibiru is just really, really good for Orcust. It really is just that simple. That's the synergy. We use our normal summon on Orcust Mech Knight, dump a Orcust Nightmare, and summon out a Orcust Nightmare from the deck using the Harp Horror. Then we can go into Galatea, and we're going to trigger the Orcust Nightmare in the grave, banishing it to dump a World Wand, I believe is what it's called. And then we can go for the Symbol Skeleton, special summon out the Orcust Mech Knight from the grave, banish the World Wand to special summon out from our banish pile the Harp Horror. Then we can trigger the Galatea to set our field spell by shuffling back the World Wand, activate the Orchestrated Babble, and we can go into our Dingirsu. At this point, we're going to go for Dingirsu effect to attach, a material from the banish pile and go into an IP Masquerena. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. All our graveyard effects are quick effects here, so we will be able to do quite a bit on our opponent's turn, on top of IP being able to go for SP or anything we may need. Here we're holding our negate for the graveyard effect of the Havness. And yeah, I know this board doesn't seem too crazy. I mean, you can do crazier stuff if you don't go for the Nibiru safe play, but I think it's safer to just play around Nibiru, to be honest. So I respect Pokemon Trainer for going for the Galaxy Ice Photon at the start there. Overall, decent replay. Didn't really get to show all the interaction he had on opponent's turn, unfortunately, because opponent just knew. But yeah, Orchestrated Babble is a crazy card, right? He had a ton of setup there. He could have set up, I think, like a Dingirsu on opponent's turn, as well as going IP into pretty much whatever he wanted on top of the monster negate that he had. So there was definitely a lot available there, not to mention that the opponent kind of had to deal with the King Sarcophagus. Otherwise, on turn 3, we're just summoning a bunch of level 8s and just destroying our opponent super quickly, right? So good replay, honestly. I don't think it's as bad as he made it out to be. And let's move on to the next one. And next up here from Metal Joe, we have Chimera Horus. Now, I've seen quite a few Chimera Horus players in Master Rank, and I do feel like this is a pretty solid way to play the deck. It's a little bit high rolly because really the discard that you want the most is your Edgem Chain. If you get a discard of Edgem Chain off of King Sarcophagus, you'll get to search a Frightful Patchwork. None of your other Chimera or Illusion cards really proc off of being discarded. Personally, I would definitely rather play Ash than Gamma. I'm not going to say too much about that though, because that's really just preference at the end of the day. All in all, I do think this is a solid list. I find this pick pretty interesting here, running the Hieratic Sky Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, which is a rank 8 targeting protection. But I'm not exactly sure if this is just like a budget option because you were trying to save on some UR dust. I think it is because you're not running the Happy, you're running the Duamutef. So I'm guessing this is just like your budget way of going about it, and that's totally fine. Although I do believe that you would be better off playing a Vampire Lord if you have one in this spot right here. All right, so Chimera Horus in action here. We've got Frightful Patchwork, we've got Mseti plus the Duamutef, so that's a pretty good discard, I suppose. And we're playing against Labyrinth, starting off with, oh my god, just shooting all cylinders here, firing off the Chandelier and the Maxi early. If you had your Gamma here, that would have been pretty crazy, right? But yeah, they're setting up their big welcome Labyrinth, and we get to go fetch our King Sarcophagus. Are we playing it to Maxi at all, or are we going to opt to just pass on here? So we grab our Poly with the Frightful Patchwork, grab our Edgem Chain. We are going for it. Interesting. Oh, no, I guess we can just set up... Oh, wow, you really are doing it. Okay, interesting. So we're going into Chimera. I guess this is not that bad, because Chimera will get a loop out of the opponent's hand in end phase. So really, you kind of go plus here. Then you get your Gazelle, King of Mythical Beast effect. You can add an Illusion monster to hand. And I guess on opponent's turn, you could just go for a Chimera, Guardian Chimera, I mean, with the Chimera Fusion. So if you're planning on passing here, that's really not too bad. Yeah, so you get to add a Mirror Sword Knight. Just set the Chimera Fusion. All right, so really that's not too bad. You got to mill out from their hand the Daruma Karma Cannon, and also you have the Kotal in grave, which is not a bad card to have in grave. At least you'll know you'll have some targeting protection in the grave. Plus you'll maybe you will have access to one pop with a Guardian Chimera. So into Max C, I think that's actually really, really solid. We are facing a big welcome here. They're going to set 2 cards, and I'm guessing here they started to end phase, and at that point we decided to just go straight for the Guardian Chimera. So they could chain the big welcome here if they wanted to. We will use the Graveyard effect of Chimera to summon out our Mirror Sword Knight. That's pretty good because Mirror Sword Knight will go very, very plus here. And Chimera gets all the draws and the pop. Very surprised the opponent didn't chain their big welcome there. But either way, on activation of big welcome, we will activate the Mirror Sword Knight. And we'll get to summon out our, summon out the Big Winged Baphomet. Get a search. They're going to bounce the Lady Labyrinth here so that they can summon it and trigger their Chandelier in the graveyard. We're going for Big Baphomet to search 2, and they're going for Lady Labyrinth. All right. I mean, it seems like we have this in the bag. Considering we played into Max C, this is kind of crazy. We really out-resourced the lab player here. Yeah, I don't know why they went battle phase there, but either way, at this point, I mean, like, I don't really see how we could lose this. We have so many cards in hand. Going King Sarcophagus here. They're going to go for... Oh, that's a mistake. Oh my god. Oh, this guy, that's not a once per turn card, buddy. This card is not once per turn. All right. We're going to chain the Chimera Fusion. They're going to chain the Trap Trick, and then they're going to chain the Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. So they're setting a welcome here. Going for the Trap Trick. What are you grabbing with Trap Trick? A Dogmatica Punishment. Okay. I feel like this is not the best Labyrinth player I've ever seen or anything, you know, but... I mean, that's fine, I guess. We're going for Guardian Chimera here. And they are bouncing the King Sarcophagus, which really just protects it from destruction. It's actually good for us, honestly, at this point. And we get our Guardian Chimera effect. Yeah, they get their Labyrinth, but that's really not a big deal. So they get to summon a Fiend from the grave. We get our big Winged Baphomet summoned from grave here. Oh my god, dude. We got to draw into Max C, pop more cards, trigger the Mirror Sword Knight yet again. Yeah, this was a wash, dude. This was a wash. We can fast forward here. It's already over. We can call by the Labyrinth Chandelier. I mean, this is already super over. Get to trigger Big Wing Baphomet again. Search 2 again. Like, look at this hand, dude. All the gas. And now we get to summon all our Horus cards. Yeah, okay. Scoop it up. Scoop it up. Horus Engine didn't come crazy into play this duel, you know, but, I mean, still. Really solid replay. I mean, we weren't about to just use our Horus cards into Max C. And at the end there, I guess the Horus cards did get the opponent to scoop. So we'll count it. But yeah, this engine does work pretty well with the deck, even though we didn't really get to showcase it super well this time. All right, and next up here, this totally not copium, totally viable Dragonlink Resonator Bystial Horus list is coming in from Jadistic. By the way, shout out Jadistic, huge appreciator of the channel. I really appreciate you, dude. And yeah, I mean, look, man, we gotta do what we gotta do to make Dragonlink work. It is not in the best of places. It's been really rough trying to play Dragonlink these past formats. Jadistic tried to stuff as many good cards as he could into this 45 card pile here. Resonator Bystial Horus is already a very real strategy. In fact, that's a deck that I would like to try and potentially make a deck profile on. But Jadistic was like, you know what, screw it. We're going to do that, and we're going to add Dragonlink in there. So as you can see here, we're running everything. And the Horus engine is basically going to be like your Chaos Ruler at home. So, I mean, we'll see if it works. I'm going to go check out the replay. I don't really have thoughts on this. I haven't tried it at all. And, you know, I don't want to be too negative about it. Who knows? Maybe it's actually crazy. So let's go check it out. All right. So here we go, boys. Dragonlink, as good as it's ever been, right? This is a really good hand, actually. We have the Black Metal Dragon, the King Sarcophagus. We're going to start with King Sarcophagus, Black Metal here. We're going to go into our Striker Dragon. And we get to do a lot here, so we'll be able to grab the Red MD. We'll be able to grab our Boot Sector launch with the Striker. I'm guessing we're probably going to discard the Branded Beast eventually because we can get it back with Regained later. And discarding Absol should be pretty good because any way that it's sent to the grave, we'll get our search here. So we get to banish our Striker Dragon, shuffle it back with Regain to get a draw into 1-for-1, which is really nice. Okay, so Sarcophagus, yeah, discard the Absol Router can search Tracer, and we dump a... I'm not going to say the name. We can bring back our Black Metal Dragon with the Red MD, and we can special out the Horus monster from the graveyard here to go into our Romulus. So Romulus is going to search the Dragon Ravine. Then with these two, we can go into a Hieratic Seal. So we're playing around Nibiru a little bit here. Very cool. So going for Boot Sector launch, specialing out the Rocket Tracer. Tracer pop the field spell, and they're going for Nibiru here. But we did play around it a little bit. We did play around it quite a bit here because we get to trigger our Hieratic Seal since it was tributed and summon out the Magnamut. At this point, we can go King Sarcophagus, discard the 1-for-1 to send the Imseti, go again and discard another card to send the Happy, special summon 2 level 8s from the grave. And what are we doing with these guys? We're going into a Zombie Vampire. We're going for Chaos Ruler. Fuck it, we ball? We ball in Dragonlink again? Let's go. Bringing back the Imseti here, we get to trigger the Vision Resonator in the grave to grab the Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia can then search another Vision Resonator, special summon the Vision Resonator, and go into a Savage Dragon. Okay, this is solid. This is solid. Get a Romulus here. With these two, we're going to go into an IP Masquerena. That's going to be an SP on opponent's turn, worst case scenario. And then we get to grab a Druisworm. So through Nibiru, really, really good setup here. We have the Branded Beast setup. We have the Branded Regained. We have Druisworm, which we can then link away with IP. So we'll get 2 to 3 removals off of just going into SP if we need to. Yeah, this is actually just super good. And we have our Omni Negate with the Savage. Really good stuff. Oh my god, you milled all 3 Vision Resonators. That's crazy. All right, let's keep going here. I want to see the rest of this duel. So Druisworm here, banish the Diabell Star. Then we can go for Branded Regained. Shuffle back your Diabell Star to get a draw into Ash. Massive. They're going for Bonfire here, searching the Poplar. They're going to go for Poplar Effect in hand to special summon. And we're going to go and Branded Regain to bring back our Magnamut from the grave here. Then they're going to link away... Oh my god, they didn't search with Poplar. They're going to link away their Poplar, go into Linkuriboh, and go straight into SP Little Knight. Interesting. So SP Little Knight here to force out the Savage Dragon Omni Negate. Then we get to chain the... Chain the SP on the IP. Then we get to go IP. I don't really get this interaction. I really don't get this line in general, honestly. But either way, we're just going to go balls to the wall, summon the Borderland Dragon here, and don't even need to use the Druisworm, honestly. Then they're going to go for Airlifter, normal summon, search at the Rescue's headquarters. Interesting. Not emergency? Okay, so anyway, shuffle back Poplar with the original Engrave. Then we're going to Ash the original Engrave. Seems like our opponent is like ultra desperate here. Seems like they're really going through it. Now they're okay. They had the emergency already, so they're gonna summon a Hydrant. We're gonna go Branded Beast, send the Druisworm to the grave, and they're just gonna chain Linkuriboh. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You might as well here. We will get a Druisworm sent here, and I'm guessing we're gonna send the SP and not the Linkuriboh. Yeah, of course. At this point, they're going for Rescue Ace headquarters. Activate Rescue. Ooh, bring back Hydrant, but we still have our negate here, so we can just go. Oh, well, we're not. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Okay. Okay. So they're going to Dark the Dark Charmer. I guess we're holding our negate for the Turbulence in case they already had it. That makes sense. So with Dark, they can get our IP Masquerena. And with these, they can go into a Sprite Elf. Okay. Interesting. So we're going to negate the Sprite Elf, bring back the Tracer. That's kind of strange. I guess this does target, right? So they were going to be protected from your Borderland, and you're going to get all your back row. So you might as well negate the Elf. I think you might have waited a bit too long there. But to be fair, you didn't know what he was going to do, right? So fair enough. Foreseeing that Dark sounded pretty hard to do. They're going to go to battle phase here, beat over your Tracer. This card can't be destroyed by card effects, and it can't be targeted with monster effects. But I guess they could negate it and then destroy it. Okay, they're going for the emergency. We're going to Ash the emergency as soon as possible here. This is a really interesting duel, I'm not going to lie. So let's see what else we have going on here. We can bring back all our Horus monsters. I forgot about the fact that we have just King Sarcophagus chilling. And we're going to get like 1,000,000 damage on board here off of just that. Yeah, summoning 3 bodies here. Get to tribute the Serenir to pop the Turbulence. They're going to go for Extinguish. We're going to chain Borderlands and... Oh my god, bro. Yeah. Pretty long replay. Really good one, though. I really liked it. That looked pretty cool. That looked pretty cool. I'm not sure about the high ceiling Horus package with like more monsters and stuff. But that looked really interesting. Anyway, moving on. All right, and now we're really, truly into fun, silly territory with this one. But Maz sent this in. It's Cubic Horus. And I mean, I never, ever give Cubic love on this channel. So I figured it would be only right to give them some time in the spotlight. So yeah, Maz is making use of the Magician Souls engine. It makes a ton of sense. I already talked about why it's good with Horus, but it's also good with Cubic because you want to send all your continuous spells to the grave to get their grave effects. That's actually also the reason that it's good with Horus, because you want to discard your Karma. You want to discard pretty much all your Cubic spells and traps because they're just so good in the graveyard. So that's basically it. I think that's the gist of the synergy. We're running a lot of going second cards here. I think we're actually prioritizing going second more so with this deck. I'm not 100% on that, but generally speaking, Cubic is typically a going second strategy. Doesn't seem like we're caring as much about negating Max C. We just kind of want to go for game and go for game quick, running a bunch of board breakers here. So without further ado, let's go check it out. All right, and this is a 6-turn game, so a bit of a long game. We'll try to go quickly here, but I don't know many of these cards super well. We are going second. I'm going to do my best with this stuff. We're playing against Unchained here, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So they're fetching the Unchained Abomination Trap. They're normal summoning the Rakia. They're popping the Escape of the Unchained is what I meant to say. Then they're ashing our Maxi, so that's good for Unchained. They're going for the Sarama set and pop. Then we popped our Wailing, so we get to summon another one from the deck. We go into Lord of Yama. Lord of Yama, fetch the Soul of Sharvara. Sharvara, pop the Sarama and summon another Shawarma from the deck here. Then we're going to summon out the Shiyama, set another card using the effect of Shawarma, and summon out another Unchained from the deck, summoning out the Soul of Rage and the Hiking Caesar. This is as good as it gets, really. You have the Trap, you have the Caesar, and you have the Soul of Rage. It doesn't get much better than that for our deck here, but we are going straight for our evenly match, and our opponent is going to go for... Oh, you don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Well, I guess you do because it's on resolution. It's on another chain. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, it's on another chain that you get these summons. So you actually do want to do that. My bad. My bad, chat. Okay, so that makes a ton of sense here. We are going to go for Maxi again because we're just that good, I suppose. And we get ashed again because our opponent is just that good, I suppose. That's crazy. That's like Maz replay magic. Every time it's a Maz replay, you always get silly stuff like this. So anyway, how much are they going to get to do here? They get to send set the Escape, summon out the Soul of Rage, pop the Escape, add the Aruha to hand. Then they get to summon from deck with the Escape. We still have access to our Unchained Soul of Rage effect. We are going for the Thrust here to grab the Soul of Rage, activate King Sarcophagus. Sarcophagus, discard the Crimson Nova to send the Imseti, special the Imseti, and what are we going for here? Straight into SP. So we're really just playing SP control at this point. We had to really lose a lot of cards in our hand to get through this board, surprisingly. So yeah, even though we had a bunch of board breakers, just this deck plays really well into evenly, you know. Unchained is really good at that. So as soon as they go for Aruha, we are going to chain the SP Little Knight here. I mean, for their graveyard effect, we are going to chain the SP just to banish both, which actually does dodge our opponent's entire turn here. So that was a really, really good SP. All we have here is a called by. Oh, but we're just going to discard called by so we can make some bigger plays. So now we can summon Imseti and Happy from the grave and go into a zombie vampire. That's going to be massive. Zombie vampire can also mill some of the see, there we go. We milled both a Duza and we milled a Karma, so that's going to be huge. But we milled a Fiendish Rhino Warrior for opponent, so that could maybe do something for them. Not really. Either way, now with the Duza, we can send a unification of the Cubic Lords. We can activate our SP and just banish the Duza and our opponent's monster here to try to get some damage in, I suppose. They're going to get their Shawarma effect and set Escape of the Unchained at this point. We can go for unification in the graveyard here to summon another Duza. Duza can activate again, and they're going to go for Nibiru. Yikes. That is a tough Nibiru here. Tough Nibiru. I think we still get to dump with a Duza, though. I don't think that's a hard once per turn. So we get to go Karma here. Karma, search a Duza from the deck. Normal summon Duza, not a once per turn. Get to go Karma, also not a once per turn. Karma, search the... Okay, searching the Crimson Nova. Sending another... Okay, another level 8 to the grave with our Horus engine here. Making a Nightmare Phoenix. Activating the unification to bring back one of our Cubics from the grave. I think we summoned the V-Jom there. Bring back the SP Little Knight. Summon out our level 8, and we can make ourselves a Pit Knight early. Okay, interesting. So summoning a Pit Knight early, and we have SP in the grave. They can just threaten us with the Nibiru here. They're going to get to play quite a bit. They're summoning out the Abominable Unchained Soul. Going for Escape of the Unchained, popping the Sprite Elf. And we still get to bring back the SP, but they get to pop it with the Abominable here. Looking really, really rough. Oh, wait, we get the Duza effect. I forgot about this effect. Wait. Yeah, this is like during battle or damage calculation or something, right? Yeah, if a monster was sent to your graveyard this turn while this card was face up on the field, you can make this card gain 200 attack for each monster with a different name in your graveyard until the end of this turn. Okay, so you can just do this like it's a quick effect. It's just a quick effect. All right, that's so silly. I think bro just didn't read it. To be fair, I don't think I would have read that either. And we do get to bring back Pit Knight early. That revival effect is really, really good with Pit Knight early. So it helps us keep some board presence here. And yet again, going for King Sarcophagus now. I think we get to summon a lot of big bodies here. I think we really did outgrind our opponent here. We also get to do the graveyard effect of Dharma and add back Duza. Summon a Duza, get to mill another Karma. Karma effect in the grave is going to search by banishing itself, searching a Crimson Nova. So it seems like this whole Cubic engine is just filling your hand with discard fodder, basically. You just keep adding the Crimson Nova so you have something to discard for your King Sarcophagus. It's pretty interesting. Then we use these two. Okay, and we're going for the Zeus line. Well, we don't really need the Zeus, right? We're just, I mean, surely, yeah, I think, do we have lethal? Surely, yeah, okay, we do. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Do I think it's great? I don't, but it's really cool. So shout out Moz, another great replay, another spicy deck. And we actually have one more really spicy, kind of toxic deck, and that's going to be the last one. So let's get into that. All right, so this is it. The most toxic, most high rolly, most insane deck probably in this video. It's a 60 pile Bystial Thunder Dragon Horus thing. It's terrifying to look at. I don't even know what to say about this. It's coming in from Pokemon Trainer. Look, man, I cannot do this deck justice. We're just gonna go take a look at the replay. You guys are, bro, you are not running Darkest. Yeah, bruh. Let's go check the replay. All right, and let's just see how disgusting this gets here. So we have Levianeer in hand, Dragon Roar, Chaos Space, Imseti, Talents. Yeah, typical, you know, typical 60 card player hand here. So going for the Imseti, discarding the Levianeer, grabbing a King Sarcophagus, drawing it to another copy of Talents. That's pretty unfortunate, but we do get to discard it, so not that big a deal. And send the Happy. We're going to discard both Talents, actually, because our opponent's not activating any hand traps. And we get to summon out 2 level 8s here and go what? All right, we are balling here. We are balling. So going for the Vampire, well, the Zombie Vampire. I keep calling him the Vampire Lord. And summon out another Imseti. Then we can go for Bystial Lubellion. Grab ourselves a Bystial Magnamut. Then we're going to go for Magnamut effect, banishing the Dragon Roar at this point. Get a Magnamut effect, get the Dragon Roar effect. Dragon Roar, summon out the Dragon Dark. We get to go summon our Lubellion, tributing the Magnamut, get our regains. Then we can make ourselves a Curious. You hate to see that. Get the Dragon Dark effect to fetch a Dragon Hawk. And we send... Whoa. Did we just get lucky with that snow? We just got lucky with that snow mill? Or we sent it with... Okay, I think we sent it with the Curious just to get the link material. Either way.
Get back the Levianeer here. We can go for Baldrake, banish a card from our opponent's graveyard here. Go for Druister and banish another Lubellion. Use these two to make a Beatrice. Okay, bro's going like super high rolly here. Dumping a Vision Resonator with the Beatrice to grab Crimson Gaia. Activating Dragonhawk, bringing back the Dragon Roar to make Colossus. Then we can go Crimson Gaia, add Vision Resonator back to our hands. Special the Vision Resonator, make Bystial Dispather, sorry. And go into Dark the Dark Charmer. Then make ourselves... Wait, why are you making Sprint? Dumping the Shinobi Necro. Oh, okay. And then we can go for Snow. Banish all this stuff to summon back Snow and get the Shinobi Necro effect in the banish pile. Make an elf? Why an elf? Oh, because then we... Because then we can go for Dispatch... What? Why would you use Dispatcher to make that? Then we bring him back to make IP? I don't understand. It feels like you destroyed your own board. I don't get it. I mean, I forgot. Okay, because Regain gets to bring back Dispatcher for some reason. And our opponent is going to chain the Incredible Ecclesia here, summoning out the Golden Sword Soul. We're going to get to go Snow on the Golden Sword Soul. Our opponent cannot search anything. We are going to go Dispatcher, shuffle back an opponent's banished card to negate that. Then we're going to go for Runic Droplet, summoning out the Hugin. And we did chain our SP here. We get back our SP. Oh my goodness, bro. This is ridiculous, man. This is the kind of deck. I'm just going to say this. Like, I'm all cheerful right now and happy. But if I see this in ladder, like, I am so upset right now. Because I hate playing against this style of deck, bro. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously super insane. And now, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much clearing, right? Hopefully we get lethal here. I mean, maybe not, actually. Wait, do we? Wait, 35, 26, 14. Oh, and then Snow for game. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about Snow for game. Yeah, just to add insult to injury here. Very cool, man. Very cool. Super epic. The deck is obviously crazy when you get your combo, but like, I have my doubts about a list like this. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about that. I really just showed that one because it was like super insane and silly. And I kind of wanted to show the over-the-top shit. That's going to do it for the Horus Engine Showcase. Hopefully you guys saw some lists that maybe interested you or helped you figure out some different, I don't know, some ratios for a deck you already had that you wanted to try with Horus. All in all, I just wanted to make a video that kind of covers a bunch of Horus decks. Maybe you just like putting on long videos where I just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! And you don't even plan on building any of these decks. Whatever it is, make sure to leave a like. It helps me tremendously. And if you didn't like it, well... I don't leave a dislike, I guess. I don't know, man. Bruh. Peace.